Everything that we think we know is a distortion of disempowerment. Oh, there's some good stuff going on out there. Things are changing, and there have been truths out there. What's a truth? Something that allows you to expand into everything that you are. It doesn't put you in a box. I want to explain to you exactly what's going on now that we're breaking through, but I really want to emphasize that if you want to go into that expansive space, that awakening, not just consciousness, I'll explain the difference here in a moment. If you want to go into that space, unlimited space where you can create like that, I'll explain how that works also, you might want to watch this video because you've seen those titles, everything we've been told is a lie. It's not actually a lie. It's a truth according to whomever passed it down, who believes that. Therefore, it's not a lie. It's a distortion. I'm going to explain why we've been told these distorted facts. You ready? Because you're going to love this, and it could open up a huge door for you. You ready? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. You ready for this? I hope you'll subscribe and support my channel. I'm going to have a membership showing up soon. I'm going to do a masterclass with Nikki on orbs shortly, and that's something she's going to start doing. She's in my Digital Explorers training. I'm teaching people to go into a space that's expansive. I'm going to talk about that right now. Why did I create Digital Explorers? Our whole premise is to do something for a living that we could earn, but it makes sense. We haven't been trained that way. Why haven't we been trained that way? Well, when you come over to Digital Explorers, I have no limits except for business practices that make sense through experience, but I don't tell you you can't teach people how to film and communicate with the orbs. I don't tell you you can't do psychic readings or that you can't go into really cool healing practices that some elders in Hawaii teach. These are some examples. We have health and wellness coaches, we have everything, but I tell them, let's step outside of the boundaries of this is how things work. Why have we been in those boxes? Everything that has been expansive, that empowers us to the consciousness state, that understands that we are not these bodies or even these roles we're playing. This is a temporary illusion that we chose to play out to experience certain things, to accomplish certain goals, to understand what it's like to know darkness and light. When we go into this consciousness, we understand that we have these amazing powers. Now, those in darkness will use their persuasive powers for those who are not in consciousness to keep them in unconsciousness because they like to control the masses. It allows them to get stuff and to have power and feed their ego. So everything that you've been told, I want you to think about this, and everything we've been told through the centuries is meant to keep us in the box. So how is this done? If you used medicinal herbs to heal people, what? You were burned at the stake back in the day. She's a witch, all right? If you say, oh, the sun is the center of these planets, not Earth, you get killed, all right? Why? It's taking the power away, perceived power, of the lower frequencies who now have to relinquish the monopoly on I'm the expert, you must trust and know me, and that's an illusion. But they lose the illusion when we go outside of that box. Think about this. Healings, what the universe really is. Aliens is the biggest one. If we really consider, and you were like crazy if you think there's life on other planets. So there's still actually people who think that there's no life on other planets because we are being restrict it as much as possible, because as soon as we start to believe that, we're thinking, wow, what else is there, right? So those who believe are ridiculed. They get the, black ops and white trucks driving around. And also then there's propaganda put out that tells us that these aliens are evil. Now I have a question for you. So they supposedly make deals with our government to abduct us. I didn't realize our government had the power to tell them that they could go out into the public and pick us up. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yes, it's okay, because we control that. No, because there are bigger laws and rules, and they just can't go do anything. This is allowed for certain reasons. We're somewhat of an experiment, the body, the human form is. So we are told that even the government controls that with evil aliens. These are stories that are made up, and I know some of you say, no, Landria, you're still listening to the stuff out there, and you're believing that. That's stories too. And so I know it's tough to give that up and say, what if all of this is not true? What if there's something completely different going on and I don't know it? And it's okay if I don't know it. And that there is a balance in the universes and beyond of the positive and negative. Of course there is. Well, we are an example of that. We're the extreme negative. All right? We're the biggest threat in the galaxy. And so, which is why we're on the outskirts of it. And so there is an interest in us because we're destroying ourselves. We have no respect for our plants and animals. So we are playing out a role of, let's see if we can come out, go into consciousness and go into empowerment and awakening. Now, so awakening and consciousness are two different things. Consciousness is awareness of what we are on some level. I mean, we can't comprehend that either. And that this is a play and that, we're going to play it out. But that doesn't mean you're awakened. Consciousness, we've had some big kahuna dudes that used their consciousness and realized they wield this power, all right? And they'd have their little groups to control the masses. So they were using the power of consciousness in darkness. That is possible. Awakening is going into light within consciousness, okay? Awakening is saying, I respect and love all this creation. We are all of that. I am that power. I am. And so there's total compassion, and you understand the purpose of why we're here. So all of these things you've heard, I want you to question everything, including me, including every spiritual teacher. If they tell you this is how things are, then they are absolutely in a box on some level, because everything's possible and everything is reality and everyone holds equal power and we are one beautiful energy. You don't have to believe that either. And that we're creating everything that you're getting caught up in and getting your panties in a bunch over. And there are those who are manipulating us continually to get us to fight with one another, to be in separation, and there's still people following those people, right? And it's okay to say, I was wrong. It's okay to date the narcissist, have them not treat you well, and walk away. It's okay to marry the narcissist because you still believe they could change and realize they're not who I thought they were and who I made up a story to believe they were. And so it's okay to walk away. All right? It's okay to see it differently and say, I was wrong, not in my thinking at that time, but wrong in the sense that this is not what I want. I can change that story. But we stay with those stories. We're afraid to say, you know what, I'm not so happy. That candidate's looking a little, that leader over here is not who I thought they were. Oh, that spiritual teacher sounding a little off, something not right with it. It's okay to say, I don't have to believe in that anymore and walk away from it. But the ego wants to be right. So it'll stay with negativity and conflict and low frequency because the ego here doesn't want to admit that that is not, high frequency behavior. you're going to have to walk away. This is the learning. This is going and awakening and saying, I can let that go because I don't have to be right, and I don't have to be right against somebody else, and that all has to go. So what I want to share with you is there's a practice I want to give you. If you do this, it will help you to step away from this insanity, because everything we've been told is being used as power and control if it is somebody saying you have to do this or this is a certain way, because there isn't any one certain way. There isn't one certain thing you have to do. What is good for somebody healing here, somebody else might need antibiotics. And so there is a beautiful balance that we get to choose that is not one for all. It's not. We can be one for all in our acceptance of individual choices. And that's beautiful. That's a strengthened community. So there's communities that are breaking away now to go into these paradise. I've seen this. But they're doing it in a way to escape from the evil ones out there. That's not an answer either. Are those good? Yes, absolutely. There's some amazing things happening there, creating communities. As long as they are not closed communities, then we can shift the entire world into that kind of living. Because eventually stuff's going to start happening. We're going to have the solar flares, earthquakes, all this stuff. It's going to accelerate because she's going through her own metamorphosis, and it's not bad. We're being tested on who we are through this. Are we unified, or are we going to continually say, this is how things are, this is right, and religion is one of the most controlling stories. All of them. I even saw Buddhists, and that's not a religion supposedly, but if you're Buddhist, you're not supposed to say you're Buddhist, because that means you're identifying yourself as something. They're arguing. They're arguing with each other of how things are. Is that really Buddhist? So even when you look at these, they have the answers. No one does. No one does. As long as you're in a human body, you cannot have all answers to the universe. You will be still in density on some level, and you will still have the flaws, and you'll still have negativity attached, and the feelings that we go through, but that's okay. We just don't react to them in a negative way or believe them anymore. We use them to transition into something higher and greater and expansive. So here's your exercise. When you get caught up in this stuff, because it's going to accelerate, all right? This right, wrong, and people are going to tell you to go do things that aren't nice to oppose other people. That is 100% control of lower frequencies that love that. Love it. This is how things are. Oh my gosh, they are wrong. And so it's going to try to disempower those who recognize we don't have limits. And they're going to say, this is how things are, so that those people who believe that stuff are going to squash those who are using their absolute amazing powers, because that's a threat. So if you want to step away from that, the thinking of this, but no, there's no buts on my channel. Except for the one you're sitting on. Okay. I want you to sit and imagine a beautiful light flowing over you. If you guys have seen my meditations, you know about this. A beautiful light flowing over you. Now, if you go into my free series here, I'll give you access to those free meditations. But this you can do in 2 minutes. Light's coming over. You imagine that it is peace and unconditional love, peace and unconditional love. And I'm going to do this very quickly. And just flows over you. And then you take a couple deep breaths. And then you realize you don't have to think about anything. And then this light starts to pull up, and it pulls you with it. And your beautiful light melds with it, and it goes up into a beautiful beam out into the cosmos. And you're there. And there are stars being born all around you. There are nebulas and galaxies, and there's silence. And you see planet Earth, and she's sparkling and beautiful and perfect. And you sit out there, and you realize how perfect everything is. And it's beautiful. And you're disconnected from all of that on there. And you feel this beautiful, beautiful space. And you hang out there for a while until you come back into your body. When you separate yourself from the planet, there's total silence. You realize, wait a minute, what were we arguing about? You don't even, it just seems irrelevant. It seems silly. It doesn't make any sense. You come back and you realize, I like being in that space of peace, of silence, of total love. And you can go into that space frequently. And what I want you to know is, taking any sides or opinions and being staunch about it, that others have to believe that, is very low frequency. It's basement thinking, and basement, dark and dingy in the dungeon down there, and everybody is fighting with one another because they only think of themselves and what they want. And they only side with those people who think with them. Right? Right? That doesn't happen up in the penthouse. And so in order to get up to the penthouse, you have to be unified in the respect of the cosmos in order to be okay with it. Otherwise, you're going to be in opposition. It's never going to feel good. You'll be in struggle because they aren't thinking, so this is how things, and this is how we heal ourselves, and this is, and there are no religions. There are no religions. Those have been formed to give us some structure, yes, and some amazing things that happen with that, but also to separate us. And there's a lot of power and control, and it's been used. As soon as people say, oh, wow, I got this whole group, and they believe everything I say, yeah, let it all go. Let it all go. Question everything and say, is that a story that I've been told because it's been passed down? So people believe it, and they say, this is how things are. I say, no, it's how things are because it's been passed down for decades, centuries, because it was a control mechanism, because it took away our power. Well, it actually doesn't take away our power, but we believe that we shouldn't go into that open, beautiful, unlimited space. We're thinking, wow, that's how things, I'm wrong. I need to abide by this because you are a threat to low frequencies. You're a threat when you go into that space. But here's the ironic part about that. When you go into the high frequency awakening, not just consciousness, what the low frequencies don't realize is we would never do anything to harm them. We would be more powerful because we are going into expansiveness and they're going into imploding. They're using their powers, but everything comes back on them equally or more. Right? So negativity will come, it'll actually destroy itself and transform into something else. So when we go into the light, we would never do anything to harm them. But they don't know that. They just know they can't control us anymore. And that we're not afraid. We'll experience some fear, but there's no real reaction against it, like when you think you're just this body. So everything is a control mechanism. Everything is. Because even doctors who don't want to say things, and I know some, you might be watching this right now, who've told me that they can't say the truth or they can't recommend something else, they'll get fired. They're controlled by the companies who push their stuff. They're controlled by the staff, the management team that is controlled by the money that says, this is what you push. And then when that doesn't work, you push this, and this is what you say. And they are totally told that. And if they go off into something different, what happens? A lot of times they're harassed, and rumors are put out to shut them down because people will believe it. People believe the manipulation and the negativity. And if somebody's spewing negativity of any kind, they're in the basement. Of any kind. Of any kind. They're in the basement. Neither good nor bad, just a choice. You want to step out of that? Watch everything and say, ooh, I'm a Catholic, I'm a Buddhist, I am that, I am that. as are you. Again, I hope you'll subscribe. Digital Explorers, we're creating planet-conscious businesses. Do you really want to make a mark? Are you going to sit back and just survive? Or are you going to explore something amazing? You can create anything you want. I take you step by step. We create whatever you've wanted to do, and we monetize it. There's a whole market out there. There's a whole internet. And by the way, hurricane comes in, my internet is still going somewhere. And so is my business. I can still reach global audiences and make a difference on this planet. And I can earn doing it, and so can you. You think, oh, I shouldn't earn money. Another story to disempower. Every story you think of, I want you to ask yourself, is that disempowerment of any kind? Is that disempowerment? You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. At the end of my videos, for those of you who are very interested with my vegan, non-toxic, non-plastic products, including Bite toothpaste, it's actually not a paste, no plastic. You get discounts if you use my affiliate link. I'm going to give you some information at the end of some of these videos. In the description, you can find those links. Clean up. So we accept this. Oh, it's in a grocery store. I'll buy it. Toxic. Your liver, your kidneys are, well, no wonder in the United States we're the worst. We're so toxic. We can't, we're gaining weight. We don't know why we can't get rid of it. Our bodies can't function. There's so many chemicals on our surfaces, in our bodies, in our food. You are the only one that can say no. You have that power. Yes, you're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste. There are 3 links in my YouTube description that I want you to pay attention to. One is for Bite, no plastic. It comes in a glass container that you use over and over again. Some beautiful little pellets. You chew on them, brush your teeth. They make your teeth really white. They do not have toxins in them. All right? And did you know 1 jar equals 10.4 travel-sized toothpaste tubes? That's insane. Blue Land is also down there. No plastic containers and everything. Cleaning supplies, soaps, all kinds of laundry detergent, all come in packages, all come in tabs that you dissolve in water or put straight into the laundry, and none of it comes in plastic, and all of it is non-toxic. Of course, everything I use is vegan, no animal testing. So always go into my description, because when you use those links, if there are any discounts, you will get them from those links. You'll get $5 off of Bite, and I believe it's a 15% discount. There's definitely a discount for Blue Land also. Let's make higher choices. Thank you.